The NBA Finals are officially set with a matchup of the first-seeded Denver Nuggets and the 8th-seeded Miami Heat in one of the most lopsided finals matchups of basketball history. The Nuggets being in the finals isn't really a huge surprise considering how they've looked like the best team in the Western Conference for quite a while now. With that being said, if the Nuggets win the NBA championship, it will be their first championship in franchise history, going all the way back to their ABA days in 1967. On the other hand, there's the Miami Heat. It's been a roller coaster of a season for Miami to say the least. Several months ago, the team was below 500. Injuries were plaguing their chances, and some fans and analysts were even going as far as claiming that Erik Spoelstra should be on the hot seat. When the playoffs finally arrived, Miami was limping in, as they finished out the season by winning only 4 out of their last 8 games. Fortunately, the Heat found a way to turn their season around, as their remarkable postseason run started all the way back in the play-in tournament, with a loss to the Atlanta Hawks, before they then defeated the Chicago Bulls to earn a spot in the playoff bracket. The 8th-seeded Miami Heat have had the odds stacked against them from the very start of the playoffs, yet they keep finding ways to overcome. In this same postseason, the Heat defeated the 1st-seeded Milwaukee Bucks and the 2nd-seeded Boston Celtics, who were the top 2 favorites to make it to the finals out of the Eastern Conference. What's even more astonishing is the fact that the Heat have made it this far into the postseason while being shorthanded. Tyler Hero was Miami's 3rd leading scorer throughout the regular season, averaging over 20 points per game, and he was also the team's best 3-point shooter. Yet they haven't had him since Game 1 of the first round against Milwaukee due to his fractured hand. Not only have the 8th-seeded Heat took down giants and fought their way to the NBA Finals, but they did it while being short of their full strength. Once again, on the game's biggest stage, the Heat will have the odds stacked against them. In the history of the NBA, only 6 times has an 8th-seeded team defeated a number 1 seed. The first 2 times it happened was in a best-of-5 series. The most recent instance where it happened, other than Miami over Milwaukee this postseason, was when the 76ers defeated the Bulls in 2012, but that was mostly due to the ACL tear of Derrick Rose in Game 1 of that series. So if you eliminate best-of-5s and freak accidents, it only happened 3 times in NBA history, and yet none of those instances ever took place in the NBA Finals. In fact, the lowest seeded team to ever win an NBA championship was the 94-95 Houston Rockets, who were only a 6th seed. After that was the 68-69 Boston Celtics, who were a 4th seed. And in 3rd place is a tie between a bunch of 3rd-seeded teams. So obviously, winning an NBA championship as an 8th seed is completely unprecedented. Even if you count the teams that lost, only one 8th-seeded team has ever made it to the NBA Finals, which was the 1998-1999 New York Knicks in a lockout-shortened season. And unsurprisingly, they were quickly eliminated in 5 games by the vastly superior San Antonio Spurs. It's also worth mentioning that since the year 1980, in an 82-game regular season, no team with less than 45 regular season wins has ever gone on to win an NBA championship. This 2022-2023 Miami Heat squad only had 44 regular season wins. If the Heat win just 2 games in this final series, they'll be able to say that they had a better postseason than any other 8th seed in NBA history. But I know at least one guy who wouldn't willingly settle for just that. Jimmy Butler is the leader of this Miami Heat squad, and although he was already a widely liked and respected individual in basketball circles, his stock has gone up tremendously since this postseason began. Butler's legacy is a unique case heading into these NBA Finals. In my mind, he has basically everything to gain and nothing to lose. Considering how good this Nuggets team is, and considering how absolutely no one expected Miami to make it to the NBA Finals earlier this season, I don't think it really hurts Jimmy's legacy if the Heat were to be swept out of these finals. But if they somehow miraculously find a way to win, it would launch him to complete legendary status. As impressive as Dirk Nowitzki's ring was in 2011, even that couldn't stand up to the weight of Butler's ring in 2023. The way people viewed Allen Iverson as he dropped 48 points in the finals against the undefeated Lakers is how people would view Jimmy Butler if he won, but on steroids. One of the most fascinating things about this superstar is that Butler in the regular season and Butler in the postseason are not the same player. They're just not. Regular season Jimmy produces like Paul George in a Clippers jersey, while playoff Jimmy produces like a prime Kobe Bryant. In a way, it will be hard to know what to do with his legacy if he wins a ring. He hasn't had the most gaudy numbers throughout his career, consistently averaging around 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He doesn't really have that much hardware either. Sure, he's been an all-star and made all-NBA teams, but he's never won a league MVP, a defensive player of the year, or anything like that. For goodness sake, he's never even been first-team all-NBA. Yet, here he is, and probably leading his team to the NBA Finals again. If Jimmy Butler wins a championship and furthers his legacy that much more, it's going to be hard to pick a place for him among the rankings of the greatest players in NBA history. But honestly, part of me wonders how much that truly matters. A championship ring would be the ultimate seal of legitimacy to his incredible postseason play. And the only thing that would truly matter is that people would know Jimmy's a legend, Jimmy's a winner, and Jimmy did something that Jordan never did, LeBron never did, and Kobe never did either, which is lead a team to a championship that never had home court advantage in that postseason run. With that being said, Jimmy Butler isn't the only member of the Miami Heat who gets a huge boost to his legacy if they win the championship. The other guy is actually the head coach, Erik Spoelstra. Spoelstra is one of those leaders who just knows how to get the most out of the group that he's been given. Not only does he already have 2 championship rings as the coach of the Big Three Heat, but even after the departure of LeBron James and after blood clots ruined the career of Chris Bosh, Spoelstra still found a way to keep his team competitive, as they even made it as far as Game 7 of the semifinals in 2016. Now in more recent seasons, he's taken 2 groups to the NBA Finals, who were not expected to make it that far in the first place. With the recent struggles in San Antonio, Spoelstra is certainly challenging Greg Popovich for the title of the best coach in the NBA today. And with a ring with the 8th-seeded and short-handed Miami Heat, he'll move into the conversation of the greatest head coaches in NBA history. Given how the Nuggets cruise through the West with an impressive 12-3 postseason record, it's pretty clear that Denver will be Miami's greatest test yet. And as good as Jimmy Butler, Erik Spoelstra, and the rest of the Miami Heat have been, they're gonna have to be even better if they're gonna win the championship over this team that swept them throughout the regular season. As a very, very sad Lakers fan, all I'm hoping for is a good series. How do you guys see this series playing out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.